And we're back live from the penthouse here, the penthouse casting studio. Merlini and myself, we've been together most of the morning, started out in the main studio, migrated up here, and this is our last full cast of the day, not just together, but you and I actually get to take a break following this and drink in the rest of the coverage looking ahead on the schedule. But yeah, we get a chance to see Union Gaming back in action, which if you just caught their match, they got a win there. And they're sitting pretty solid in the standings. They are taking on no Earthspirit, who, if we're honest, is not looking all that great in play so far.
I think they
today.
have more potential than that. I've
Really?
seen them bust out some good games. Yeah.
Yep, just taking a while to get in gear then?
I think they just sometimes their draft just fails, and
Right.
I also think they need to put Relic back mid. I think they're better than the last game that we watched. Yes.
Yeah, and taking a look at the standings, it's kind of hard. There's so much going on. Like we honestly are having a hard time.
Oh, Liquipedia, I like that.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. Sneaky Nyx Assassins currently sitting in top position, 2-0. Union Gaming is sitting at 2-0 as well, and they are 2-0. Liquid got a win in their debut. C&B, who I actually think have been playing fairly well today, are also in the mix for top 4, sitting at 2-1. And really, so far, you can already see things taking shape a bit. Isurus and Shadows of the Past in a lot of trouble. No Earthspirit.
I think they have an overlay for that. Maybe.
Yeah, something like that. Do they?
Maybe.
Don't know. See, that we're getting adjusted just like everyone else. But yeah, we got a pretty nice setup up here. But most importantly, we got the game that's already underway. So we'll go ahead and toss that on in. As you can see, no Earthspirit. Oops, that's actually the wrong one. That's the one we're looking for. It's going to be Union and no Earthspirit. And Union really with a lot to play for. I mean, if you are one of these Tier 2 teams and you come in and you manage to get off to a good start, you just want to roll that up as well as you can. And
Union's 2-0, man.
Yeah, they're sitting at the top, man. They and Sneaky Nyx Assassins. So, are you familiar with Union Gaming?
I thought they were the ones with the Def win, weren't they? No?
I don't know. Not
Maybe.
sure. So much going on, man. It's just about impossible to actually keep up with it.
E-Hug. They were the one with the Def win? Why does this say that Union Gaming played... Oh, they played E-Hug and CMB. So they beat CMB?
Yeah, that actually just happened. They made
wow.
on the back of an extremely farmed Luna, like ridiculously farmed Luna.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
See, I had Union as, I think, part of my... wait. Shadows of the Past, top 5, and maybe Union was my... Oh, no. Isurus was my last one.
Yep.
So, I don't know. I didn't think that Union Gaming had it in them to beat out the South American team, but the thing about it is a lot of the South American teams, I think, actually pair up against each other. It's similar to how DK actually struggles the most versus the Asian teams, even though people don't actually think that the Asian teams are that strong. They actually play together a lot. They scrim each other a lot.
Right.
They know the players personally, and I think that will go a long way into winning the games. But now we have pretty much North America versus South America here, with the exception of Goody, who is from South America.
Yep. And, Union Gaming, it's worth mentioning as well, wasn't untouched by all of the controversy that led to this expanded field for the America qualifiers. Ewo was really at the center of it. The fact that Revenge wanted to add him, but then he was already signed on with Union Gaming, who already had their own invite, so he got the boot. And
Did you hear what he did?
What did he do?
The infamous Ursa?
No.
So he was playing versus, I believe it was EG? I don't know. I think it was versus EG. So it was Revenge versus EG. He was stand-in Ewo. He was Ursa. They were owning. They were doing the third Roshan. Actually, he was just doing the third Roshan. He was in a Roshan pit all by himself, all by his lonesome. Pretty little bear and big Roshan. He kills Roshan. Straight up, blinks out of the pit. Doesn't pick up the Aegis. Doesn't pick up the cheese. And everyone's just like, what the heck's going on?
Oh, okay.
And then we see EG. They're radiant. They're like a little bit below the Roshan. And then Zion, the Shadow Demon, just like straight up walks into the Roach pit, 4 steps in, gets the Aegis, denies the cheese, and then that's it. And then after that, it was pretty much game. It was still very close before that, though.
Yeah, that's I've heard people actually talking about it. I wasn't familiar. Like LD was talking about it downstairs as one of the most infamous moments.
It was very infamous. You can't forget that.
I got to catch the highlight reel.
But there is Evo this game. He's here.
Yeah, he's in. So, Union and no Earthspirit taking their time in the draft, to burning through a little bit of their bonus time. Very standard stuff out of Union at the very least, picking up the Shadow Demon, the Mirana. A lot you can do with that. You can build a very aggressive lane. Dazzle's still available.
I remember I was talking about a Sand King. I said, against another Earthspirit, you got to ban a Sand King.
Yep.
And we saw Goody on the Chen. You're talking about his Chen play. He couldn't make anything happen. Sand King, I think he can make stuff happen.
Yeah, and, well, especially the style that they were playing, where that Shen really, I mean, he caught up okay-ish, but you were looking to really, they were trying to gank mid and side lanes at like 2-3 minutes into the game. Sand King's going to be great in that role, so long as you can actually execute. And, yeah, I want to see it, and this is one of the fun parts of the qualifiers, is getting to see a lot of these players, a lot of these teams, and a lot of their strategies and such that just don't get exposure to throughout the vast majority of the year. For Union, though, I love the Shadow Demon Dazzle Mirana tri-lane. I love it. It is so fun to watch when it's executed well. You can just blow people up. It transitions very well because Shadow Demon and Dazzle, their abilities don't really have a shelf life. They're excellent all game long. And it just tends to make for a very action-packed early game, especially whenever you have a competently played Mirana.
Yes. I actually think the supports are more important in that role. Well, we'll see if they go with the Dazzle. Dazzle against 2 melee, decent, but these 2 heroes don't actually have any physical damage, and Darkseer has pretty high armor. So let's see if they do want to go with the Dazzle. They could also go with something like a Disruptor, very good at zoning out a Darkseer, but I think the Dazzle would work out perfectly fine. So no Earthspirit really haven't revealed much of their hand yet. They could go for a Wombo combo, but Darkseer Sand King is already a very strong opener. You have decent lockdown, you have great team fight, you have decent laning, I'd say, and just AoE is king, man.
Yeah, you want to talk about a hero that would, or a lineup that a Disruptor would fit well into. Darkseer Sand King Disruptor is actually really strong, especially depending on how you want to run it. If you have some other Blink Initiator on top of that, you know, I've seen something like this going way back in the day, like going back to like last year's TI. You used to see that occasionally out of Team Liquid. They would run something like a Slardar with a Darkseer and a Disruptor plus some other AoE, or like a Slardar, even an Ursa. Looks like they're not going to go that direction though. Instead, going for mobility and survivability with the Weaver pick.
Yep, I'm trying to think if no Earthspirit could potentially aggro try, but I don't think so. Sand King's, I think, a little bit too weak in the aggro try. He's melee, his range on stun is too weak, and he really needs levels, and he makes better use of the jungle than most support. So I think with this pickup, you can... I guess they could potentially do dual lanes, but I think they'll just be better off dumping Darkseer in the off lane. Union Gaming, they could also go aggressive try too, and kind of make the Weaver pressured a lot. It depends on who their next support is. If they pick someone getting a little bit weak, like Rasta, who's really weak in aggro tries but really strong in Roshan, you might see them shift up to the top lane instead.
Right. Yeah, I mean, right now it is kind of wide open, and I always want, in, you know, just the way the game tends to play now, I favor aggression so much more over passivity early on. Would you agree, or is that just kind of a preference thing?
It depends on the team, but in general, aggressive is the way to go. The more experienced teams will generally win the safer, longer games, because the decision making in the late game is almost always better in the experienced team. So I think neither of these teams have a huge experience advantage. So it doesn't really matter either way, I'd say.
Grabbing up a puck, and just sticking with the thing we were talking about. Puck, you know, it's fun to pick up a puck. You can run him mid if you want. He's also an excellent candidate for solo safe if you do want to run aggressive pressure into someone. And then you could just go with a more hard farming mid and play the mid as a one-position role. You see a lot of teams like EG do that very often. I'm going to go ahead and grab the Abaddon for no Earthspirit. Really like that. I really like the way he's going to end up feeling and working, in particular with the Weaver. You know, just being, it's a little bit of extra survivability. Also works extremely well on the Sand King. And, you know, Sand King, when you talk about what he's going to have at his disposal, you can throw an Ion Shell on him, and end up throwing the Photic Shield on the Weaver if you want, or whatever else. But you're going to have a lot of ways to get up close and personal and do nice damage. So I like their draft. It's going to be Centaur actually picked up for Union.
I like the Abaddon in some aspects, in the fact that he can dispel silence off Weaver, he can dispel long duration arrows, but I also don't like him in some aspects because he's not a good killing partner with Sand King.
Right.
Like, generally you want like someone with a follow-up stun, something that's maybe hard to hit, like Potom Arrow, like a Leshrac or Lena stun. Just something to do some damage after he gets a nice Burrow Strike Epi or just a Burrow Strike. And he's a little bit too passive for my liking. And I mean, he's very good versus Mirana.
Well, we see, looks like these two teams were on the same wavelength weave band whenever you look at the bands and the way they worked out. No Earthspirit taking away the Dazzle pick from Union, and Union banning out the Disruptor, which we had said would go well with what No Earthspirit was up to. So Viper going to be the last ban out. Not a lot of bonus time left on either side, so shouldn't be long at all for us to see our fifth and final picks on both sides. This is the Penthouse Stream. I'm your host, AC. Merlini sitting right next to me as we cover the I keep wanting to call the North America Qualifiers. It is the America Qualifiers presented by Monster Energy. Thanks for being a part of the broadcast. And don't forget, we got a whole lot of other streams you should check out as you go. Nothing wrong with keeping 2 or 3 open. Tiny, the last pick for No Earthspirit.
And these two supports, two Sand King Abaddon, they're not going to be able to do anything for the Centaur. So I think Centaur is actually a very good pick here. Centaur is a very good pick here because the melee zoning is just not going to happen. Maybe they can do dual lanes, like Weaver, Abaddon top maybe, and Tiny kind of like semi-solo versus Centaur. Actually, that wouldn't work out. I don't know what they're going to put mid, though. It could be Weaver, it could be Tiny, it could even be Darkseer.
Yeah. Mid Darkseer is all right. You don't see it all that often, but it certainly works. I mean, Darkseer survives in any solo lane situation. Luna, last pickup for Union, and again, in their last match that we just saw, it was Union on the back of an unbelievably farmed Ewo Luna riding to a win over top of CMB Esports, who also is contending for a top 4 slot right now at 2-1. 2-0 for Union as they look to improve to 3-0 against No Earthspirit. No Earthspirit, well, they just like something in the win column, man. They're at 0-1 and have been seeming to struggle a little bit early on in play. So taking a look at the draft, who do you think got the best of it?
I think Union Gaming, because they don't really have anything that can contest a Luna. Luna will do very well versus Darkseer, which I think that's going to be the matchup. And Centaur is going to do very well in the bottom lane. So that's pretty much 2 of your lanes already won there. And Puck, if it's a well-played Puck, he can win out versus a Tiny in the mid lane. I think it's going to be Tiny in the mid and Weaver in the save. I could be wrong, though. So I think Union Gaming, they have better lanes. They have slightly better lane game. And I think they have much better gank. They have the Moonlight Shadow. They have just the Disrupt and the Arrow combo. They have Centaur, who will probably get a blink, as well as Puck. So that's just a lot of burst, quick and easy, and a lot of lockdown that Ban Earth is really going to need BKBs on their 2 cores, I believe. Yeah, is it a BKB? Yeah, it's a BKB game for Weaver.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Looks like both teams playing it safe. Angel trying to move in and get some warding done. Did manage to get a 1 down right next to the enemy ward, but shouldn't be a whole lot of blood on the soil to begin. So how about we take a look at our lineups as we wait for the creeps to spawn. It'll be Goody playing on our Sand King. Weaver going to be played by Bricks. Going to end up being Relic on the Tiny. He's setting up shop in mid for right now. We're going to have Half-Fried Egg Roll, a.k.a. Egg Roll. That's what I'm going to start calling him just for the sake of brevity. He'll be on the Darkseer out in the off lane, and Knave playing on the Abaddon. On the other side of the river, it'll be Ewo, who again played a phenomenal Luna in their last game, rolling on his farm to a win. It'll be Citadel playing on the Puck. He's setting up shop in mid. Angel will be out in the off lane on the Centaur with Jericho on our Shadow Demon. And, of course, the Mirana going to be played by Zindurls. I'm going to guess that's right. I have no idea.
So Goody already starting off. He will scout at the top rune and the top lane. He will see the Mirana, and he will know that she's a support since she has a sentry ward and just by their lineup too. And expect him to move around a lot. In the mid lane, Puck is extremely difficult to kill, though. Maybe once his orb is on cooldown, they can try to kill him with a stun toss into an impale. But that is asking for a lot. And DD Mirana looking for an arrow on the... It's really difficult to get a kill because if you shoot an arrow in this position, you can't actually run down and attack fast enough. Yeah. So a little bit unfortunate. Arrow will not connect and Relic will be safe.
Up at top. Egg Roll in trouble. Could be first blood. Will be. Oh no! I thought he doesn't have Lucid Beam. Diving hard and will end up getting the kill, and gonna end up dead because of it. So Ewo draws first blood. I guess you could say technically that's a win, but still took quite a lot for him.
Darkseer, if he didn't mess up the salve, I think he would have lived. Or if he ate a Tango a little bit earlier, he would have lived and killed the Luna if Luna decided to commit. So not actually that great for Ban Earth.
Oh, wow. Egg Roll anticipated that was coming. That was actually really well played. As soon as he came out, that arrow was shot to connect with him a few steps behind the disruption point, and he actually just ran parallel straight to the arrow's path, anticipating it was going to be coming from that angle. So good play there. We're sitting at 1-1. First blood, of course, going to Union Gaming. So Sand King now giving a little bit of harassment here in mid. That's freeing up a lot of space for this Tiny to farm.
Yep, Relic just needs bottle. It's not the greatest matchup for Relic. He has more base damage than Puck, but at the same time, he is melee. And without access to the bottle crow just yet, it's going to be a little bit difficult. We see 2 Union Gaming heroes smoked up, waiting around the top rune. SD and Mirana, but they're not actually right next to each other. So if they jump on someone like Sand King, they're not going to be able to get a kill. So I'm a little surprised at that. But fortunately for Ban Earth, Rune will not spawn on the top lane, and it will indeed be a regen. Not sure if Goody's going to save it. Nope, he will not.
Grabs it up, making his way back into lane. And Mirana has yet to really sniff a lane, by the way. She's done nothing but wait around in the river and look for openings. And that's fine. It just she needs to make things happen. And we've seen this already today a couple of times together. Just teams who play this style, but you end up kind of languishing out in no man's land, not getting experience, not getting a ton of gold, and not really making any pressure felt across the map. So it looks like they're finally ready to hook back up near this top lane, hoping the Darkseer will overextend, but Eggroll being very safe. He's level 3.5, so even though he did end up being the first death of the game, he's hanging it back.
He's a pretty solid offlane player. I've watched him in a lot of the games, and he gets his blink out at a reasonable time, usually minimizes deaths, and gets experience in the meanwhile. So that's pretty much all you need to do as an offlaner. And Puck, let's see, is he going a blink rush or treads? I guess it's a little bit too early to tell.
Elsewhere, all's pretty quiet. Both teams seeming to settle back into the laning phase, so a little bit of downtime.
Weaver's going Lincolns. I think that's a mistake. I think he really needs a BKB. Centaur is too much burst. You can't actually stop. Like, if you get hoof stomp into a blink waning rift combo from Puck, you're gonna die.
Yep.
Or even just an arrow, a stray arrow, or even an arrow falling of Centaur Sun. And there's too many AoE spells to not get a BKB against. But we'll see how it works out for him. Could just be a casual Ring of Health too. Maybe he'll want to skip into something instead. I think he may have been able to get away with the Midas this game too. Maybe not choosing to grow that super greedy build.
Yeah, taking a look at the overall CS, Weaver is ahead, sitting at 21-5, 20-3 for the Luna. And we can see Relic getting a little belligerent here in mid, beginning to give some damage when he can with Avalanche and with Toss. 21 for Weaver, 22 for Puck, 21 for Luna. Tiny's actually doing okay too. He's sitting at 14-5. And like so far, I mean, it's just 4 minutes in, but given it's been this calm, who do you think benefits the most from this much passivity?
I think probably Union, because they need time for Luna to get strong, and they also need the Blink Daggers on Centaur and Puck. On Ban Earth, Sand King's going to get a Blink Dagger regardless, like usually no matter how much Sand King is pressured, he'll get a Blink Dagger like 10 to 15 minutes time. And whereas if you pressure a Centaur and a Puck a lot, although they don't have the right heroes to pressure them, their Blink Dagger is going to suffer a lot. And I think Union Gaming, they just have the much better mid-game lineup. I think late, Banners probably has it with Tiny and Weaver. And Darkseer, but I think there's a very, very large window in the game, like maybe 12 through 40, maybe 12 to 45 even, where Union Gaming has the stronger overall 5-man, the stronger gank, and just better BKB heroes.
And we can see, wow, Mirana running right up on Goody. Goody going to burrow strike. And here comes the orb from Puck. Sandstorm used to dodge Mirana's Sacred Arrow, and Goody able to make it away. Some slow reactions there on both sides. Felt like a panic moment. Like Mirana saw him, and I'm pretty sure the arrow was off cooldown. He could have just turned and blown him right in the face. But as it stands, everyone makes it away
Brick
safely.
Almost dies on bottom, pops the salve, and that level 3 double edge almost just chops down his whole entire HP pool and wastes the salve in the meantime. Top lane.
Top lane looks like a little bit of aggression, as yep, they're going to get him again. Maybe. He was going to go for it, and he will. And actually, juked in the trees. Is he going to make it away? Yes, Surge in 1 second. 1 second. Oh, auto attacks. Bring him down just before he can get the Surge off. So, looks like another successful dive. And
I don't know. They can cut off Jericho. He's like solo. Oh, he's going to die to creeps.
Yep. Right call to make. Dino neutral. Don't give it to anyone else. A little bit of sloppy play here early on, but at some point we're going to see this map get more active, I think.
Yeah, the Tiny mid he's farming decently, but at the same time he's not able to put any pressure on the Puck or control runes at all, so that's a little bit unfortunate for them. Tiny also needs a TP scroll just in case a serious dive happens like that. If he TPs in, he gets double kill and he saves the Darkseer. So I think the early game's not going bad for Ban Earth. It could just be going a lot better.
Well, they've got the Sand King in the jungle now. That's going to help out a little bit. He's going to make up some ground. And this is what we were talking about in a previous cast. Sand King, level 3, you can just stack and just destroy these camps in the jungle. And you can catch up and make up so much ground. It's seriously just about on the level of Bad Rider in terms of what you can do. You do tend to need a little bit more help in terms of stacking if you can get another support in there to help you just stack, because it does take time to clear the camps out with the damage over time that comes with Sandstorm. But you can go from having nothing to having a blink in the blink of an eye. Avalanche onto Citadel, and he will phase shift. Jericho's right there to help him. And I was going to say they might try to turn it around. Thinking about it, nope, not going to commit. Worried about what might be lurking behind them.
They had an arrow. I think they're just scared of the Abaddon TPing in, but he doesn't actually have a TP yet. We'll see Goody take out what looks like it may have been a triple stack, maybe just a dual stack though, and he's doing decently on his quest to blink dagger. He has a lot of levels, I think, which is also very, very important. Shadow Demon Rana both at level 3. Sand King halfway to level 6, or 5 halfway to level 6.
And up to 1,200 gold in the bank, give or take.
Arrow and Marana at the ready. Look for him to shoot one in.
See if he can find it. And going to run right into him again. Second time they've done that. Burrow Strike missed the mark. He's going to have a chance to lead him. Can he dodge? He's holding on to it. He has leap as well and will use it. And got him. And, yep, took a second for him to realize he did. One more auto attack. No, he needs one more. He doesn't have leap ready either. And Goody's going to make it away. He's going to continue to dive this. Now the TP, he is sold out hard. And they're going to try to get a return kill. There's going to be the ulti from Centaur to get him back to safety. So, no, Bricks trying to rotate over. Shikuchi up right now. Let's see if he can close the distance, get close enough. Yeah, he should be able to catch him. Didn't get him. Yep, there we go. Coil spent, but should be able. No, he actually got silence. He's going to end up being able to time lapse away, but he does finally get the kill. So, bit of an odd sequence there, and it ends up break even, 3-3 at the end.
I think that's worth it for Marana. You don't really need any items from Marana, and he's lower level than the Sand King. So, Angel on bottom, though.
Yep, eating some damage. Here comes the Abaddon to try and help things out. Goody has a stun up in 3 seconds. Stomp. Bought some time. A lot of right clicks coming out, though. And Brick's thinking about diving him. Burrow Strike is there. Could have used it. Didn't need to. So, 4-3. That's a good one. Anytime you can do anything to hold a Centaur down, just keep him a little less relevant in this early stage of the game. That's always going to bode well.
Thing is, Centaur's not actually rushing a blink. He has the makings of a hood, which is a little strange. I think he definitely needs a blink so he can match the mobility of the Sand King, match the mobility of the Weaver, and to just follow up on the puck, follow up on disrupts, and a lot of setups that they have. I mean, Pipe is definitely nice, but I think that's a second item, not a first.
Iwo taking down a nice stack of jungle creeps. And has the Helm of the Dominator up, so going with a hard farming build. Speaking of, pretty sure Midas is going to be the choice for Tiny unless he decided to build treads. No, he's got the gold. Yep, just bought it. So Midas, complete for him. Just about a sub-10, slightly less than 10-minute Midas for them. What do you think of that choice? Think it's the right one?
I don't think it's that bad considering the way he's been playing. It's either you play very aggressively and you go like treads drums or phase drums, or you play passively, use your mana out on creeps, and then go for the Midas. So it's either or. You can't really half commit though. You can't like play super aggressively and get a Midas because you'll potentially get very punished, and you can't really play passively with drums because then you're not really making good use of the gold. So I think I don't think necessarily one choice is better than another. I think it's about even. It's going to be difficult for him to match the blinks, though. So I guess he can just tank up instead of actually having to rely on really good positioning.
7 kills in 10 minutes.
Goody and Half Right Aggro trying to make a kill on the top lane. I think they can surge the Sand King and run in. They don't actually have any detection, so he'll be free to do whatever he wants.
Just going to go Sandstorm, try to help clear out some creeps here. We did see a run perhaps on Angel, but he's able to dodge that. And the Marana, level 5.5, has managed to find some gold gain here and there, even though it's really just been active and all over the place. Knave spotted out, but able to make it back. Arrow, oh wow, that had to be just about max range. Yeah, he's going to use Stampede, Stomp, he's dead. So, nice shot from our Marana. Zindrils, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly. And in the mid, they're going to manage to get a kill onto Tiny. Being able to bring him down in particular is huge. Let's see. Nope, not enough mana for a Burrow Strike. And Sidral keeps himself safe. So, very nice sequence of events going the way of Union Gaming.
Yeah, I thought Relic was a better mid player, but he should not be dying to a one-on-one situation in Puck, especially with a constant bottle crowing. Puck has pretty... it's not really like surprising how much damage he can do, and Relic's actually a pretty good puck player, so he should be aware of the amount of burst that he can put out. It's also daytime, they have wards out, so I'm not exactly sure how he died there, but certainly should not happen. He has to just get more items, treads, I think, more HP, faux show.
We're not really seeing, I mean, we're seeing rotations, we're seeing, teams are taking runs at each other, but we're not seeing a whole lot of, like, concentrated ganks, a whole lot of smokes or anything like that. And that's a little surprising to me, just given the way both of these teams are playing out, how farm-dependent heroes like Luna and Tiny are. I would expect to have seen the laning phase kind of start to crack and break down some by 12 minutes in. And it just hasn't been the case, as Relic, as we mentioned, got his Midas up just about 2 minutes ago, give or take. Now on his way to a set of treads. Bricks has the Perseverance up, looking for a Lincoln Sphere. Darkseer's taken to the jungle. He's going to have his mech like right now. Yeah, that creep puts him over the top. So Mechanism done on the side of no Earthspirit. Nice pickup there. Puck, about 500 off from his Blink at the moment. And like you said, kind of an odd choice out of the Centaur, not opting to go for an early Blink. Instead, looks like he's going for an early Pipe.
I think if Relic wanted to play this way, they could have just gotten him Naga. I'm not sure if Naga was banned out, but I think there are much better passive farming mids than a Tiny.
In the meantime, the Luna continues to rack up in terms of overall net worth. She's now got a Yasha to go with her Helm of the Dominator. Now they're going to go ahead and go in mid. There's going to be a coil. Only got Relic. Trying to follow it up. He's going to be dead for sure. Uses the Avalanche to buy some time, but the Eclipse is used. And now Abaddon has to make a run for it. Let's see Willie Jaunt. Nope, thought about it, thought better of it. And decided to stick with his team. So they managed to bring down Tiny for the second time in just about as many minutes, and looks like a Tier 1 mid might be the prize.
Yeah, Tiny's just not getting his support. His sinking is stacking and pulling, which I think he should be doing. And Abaddon, he doesn't really need to be bottom unless they're trying to go for a kill on the Centaur. He really has to protect Relic. Relic didn't even buy his belt of Giant Strength before he died either, so or TP scrolls. So that's rather unfortunate for him. I think he had time to.
And we see there was a ward over here. Hang on. Arrow missed. Bricks. Just to the north of its target path. But it looks like he's going to be able to continue to farm too. So we're coming up on 14 minutes into the game. How do you think this early game has fared? Who do you think's come out way ahead?
Very poorly for Banner.
Yeah.
Luna, uncontested, getting 2 towers. Well, she did get first blood and died in the process, so the only pressure she's come under is the one she's brought upon herself. Sinking does have a Blink dagger coming out soon. 14 minutes is not that great of timing, and yeah, the big loser is Tiny though. Tiny just dying a couple times post Midas pickup, and Weaver not going for a Midas and going for Lincolns instead of BKB means they won't have any really difficult to kill heroes in the mid game.
Yep, exactly. Couldn't agree more. They're going to try to get a push on here. Now, this is where things have to start feeling a little bit sketchy. You've got your Midas. There's going to be
nice
a
blink
stampede.
on Bricks just narrowly dodges the gank on bottom. He got blinked on by the puck, but the secret sheet away right before it hit.
And Moonlight Shadow is going to be used. They're going to try to pull back in mid. Thought they might try to make a run there as well, as it was just a lone target there in the Mirana. But no detection, not feeling confident enough to do it. And Bricks able to keep himself up and alive. And this whole time, though, Luna just continues
Oh, nice
to farm.
toss in mid. Wow.
Managing to get a kill and pick off the Mirana. Here comes Citadel. He's got a coil if he wants to spend it. Don't know that he does. No, he will. Using it on Knave now. Here comes the help. Tiny's there right with the Sand King. He's going to have to jump back across the river and find some safety. But they're keeping, if anything else, they're freeing the map up. And that's just allowing, well, Bricks is getting to farm too, but the Luna is the one that's really beginning to get huge. They're actually going to rotate him now over to bottom. And yeah, he's going to go right to the Agents.
Yeah, Tiny just doesn't have the level of farm to compare with his Luna. Like, she almost doubles his CS, and in terms of net worth, she's 3,000 gold ahead, and we're only 15 minutes in. She's going to have a Manta, and this is before the Ancient stack. It's only a Tri-stack, it looks like Golems, Dragons, and Triceratops, but yeah, I don't know. They just don't really have a good solution to her. Weaver is nice and all, but not nice compared to the super stack Luna. He's still very far ahead of the Luna, or of the Weaver too. Like, he's so far ahead of both of them that, yeah, they have 2 quote-unquote carries, but I'm not sure how much they can carry.
They have carry potential, but so far as maximizing that potential doesn't look very promising. I agree with you. I mean, it's hard to imagine what they're going to do. I mean, they need even if they get a big team fight win. I mean, the pipe's getting closer and closer to being done all on its own. Like, that alone is problematic whenever you talk about what they're relying on so far as damage. The epicenter negated in large part by that. Now Angel, way out of sorts and being chased by Bricks, and we may have a big engagement. They're thinking about it. There's going to be the demonic purge on a Relic. They're sitting around the outside. Goody trying to bide his time. Blink dagger's off cooldown now, and here we go. There's going to be a coil. And he's going to try to move in, and yes, the Eclipse doing good damage. Vacuum's there as well. It's going to end up being Ban Earth that comes out on the bad side of all this. Goody didn't even use Epicenter there. Thought he was going to just wait and charge, and if he had, maybe this is a different fight. For now, he gets to sit there and do some damage. Puck's got to be careful. There's going to be an arrow. Doesn't catch anyone. Goody manages to secure a kill, and that makes it a double kill for him, but a hat trick, a triple kill for Ewo as the rich get richer, and they walk away winners in that fight for sure. 1,600 gold up on the Luna to go with her Manta, her Treads, and her Helm of the Dominator. And Bricks, well, he's got a Lincoln's, but like you said, BKB might have been the better choice.
Tiny dies once again.
Yep.
If Sankey had gotten an Epicenter off, he didn't actually have enough mana, but had he got an Epicenter Burrow strike combo, that would have been huge for them, especially since Luna went this heavy. I want to say she's a glass cannon. She has a lot of armor from the HOD and Manta, and as well as a lot of move speed and some strength from the Manta, but she's still pretty squishy as far as Luna's go. 1,000 HP.
1,400 for Tiny, but I'll tell you, man, his...
Oh, she's so dead.
Yep, a top Ewo. That's a good pick. That's something they desperately needed, as Tiny was just looking at his inventory. He has nothing, man. He's got a Midas Bracer, Stout Shield Bottle, Treads. Like, looks like just...
It's a damage control build, though.
Yep.
If you've died a couple of times, this is the build to go. Treads Drums, because you get so much HP from it. Phase Drums is kind of nice. So actually, you won't go for Drums, instead go for a point booster, but he has a lot of HP. 1,600 HP is a lot more than Luna has right now.
Yeah, getting the point booster up helps a ton. We see Union does manage to bring down the Tier 1 bottom. It looks like Ban Earth wants to get things back on track and pressure this top Tier 1. Two are in position, though, and that might be enough to ward them away. I'm not sure how happy they're going to be forcing fights at this stage. You think that's the right call for Ban Earth? Just try to buy time to farm and try to dodge fights and try to rat it out? Or do you just kind of go out and try to play to win on your own terms?
I think since they have better late game, they can just outfarm Luna, but just by having two farmers as opposed to one. And getting BKBs, because Union Gaming doesn't really have that much versus BKB. Weaver doesn't really care about Demonic Purge, so generally Demonic Purge is very effective versus BKBs, but not him, and Tiny can just get a Manta and try and kill people and not worry about it either. Oh,
great preemptive blink as Goody. I'm not sure if they knew for sure she was there, but anticipated the leap and blinked exactly to where she was leaping. So nice pick off there, and all of a sudden Ban Earth, despite looking a little haggard, is beginning to get things back together, get things back on track. 4,000 gold, the lead for Union Gaming right now. The experience has been roughly cut in half from just about that same amount. But yeah, it looks like they're taking what they can get, and you know, Ewo is not to the point of no return yet, but he is dangerously close. He picked up his Mithril Hammer, and getting that one kill was nice, but the team fight potential is still there. And if you're in Union Gaming shoes, Ben, what do? Do you try to 5-man? Do you do stuff like this, take a Roshan and say, hey, I dare you to come challenge me? Or do you just continue to farm until Ewo has like 3 big items?
You get a mech, firstly. Secondly, you get a Blink on Centaur, which they finally have. And then they go for opportune picks. They can even blow 2 ultimates if they want to. Blink, Coil, Waning Rift, Illusory Orb, Stomp, Double Edge, Stampede if they have to, and just kill anybody on their team, aside from Abaddon. But Abaddon just hit level 7, and it's difficult for his positioning too, because he can also get caught in the AoE. So I think they can just pick off any hero that they see in the side lanes, like Tiny. I believe Weaver will probably die in that burst too, and then they can get Luna farmed, or alternatively they could put 5-man push before Darkster gets any items. He doesn't have a blink or a method to initiate, but pushing is far riskier because they could potentially get team wipe just from a simple vacuum wall epicenter burrow strike. I guess it's not that simple, but we've seen it done a lot of times before.
Well, they decide to follow your blueprint, man. They're ready to go. Mech's done on the Shadow Demon, and the blink is up on the Centaur, as you had mentioned, and they even have a fresh Aegis at their disposal. They did, of course, give that to Ewo, who will be building that Mithril Hammer into a BKB, and the biggest on surprise ever. Citadel has got eyes on a lot. He's going to get the Waning Rift off, and they're going to try to follow this up, immediately blowing up the Sand King, as he had no chance. We're going to see Darkseer able to make it away, however. Relic still in some trouble, and trying to find some safety. He should be pursued here. Blinks off cooldown in 1 second. Yeah, they don't even need it. And wow, Abaddon actually came in, and nice, managing to stun him out. And that'll be that. So any chance they had to hopefully get things back on track, looking ahead to the mid-game phase, 20 to 30 minutes in, coming apart right there. They didn't even get the Aegis, didn't get a single kill, just gave up a bunch, and now they're in a position to force things down this top lane towards the Tier 2.
I don't really know why they pushed right there. Maybe they didn't know that a Centaur had Blink, but he revealed it mid, but pushing into 2 blinkers, like neither team really wants to push unless Heroes are found. but they shouldn't want to push because they can just get trucked by the blink initiation, and they have so much damage and so much stun luck that I don't even know if BKBs would save them.
Here we go. Sand King going in and going to catch a couple, doing good damage, but isn't enough. Mech's there. Vacuum brings them back. If they could turn this around, Mech's there to help out as well, using the Eclipse to try to cover a retreat. Jericho and Ewo make it away with maybe half a health bar between them. Now they're going to try to turn it around. Angel's back there, and they got to decide, are they staying or are they leaving? Looks like they want to just abandon Angel, who will use Stampede, not just to help himself, but to help everyone else as they pull back. Arrow on the mark, caught half-fried egg roll, and getting some help from the Abaddon doesn't matter. He's going to end up dead. There's a Burrow Strike, but what a disruption. That's going to save Angel in and of itself. Ends up sacrificing himself to keep Angel alive, while Ewo secures a double kill, and they finish off Goody. Angel, with 20 HP, going to be able to teleport back to base. And looked like that was going to be a very nice initiation out of Ban Earth following the epicenter and the burrow. They got so much damage done, but in the end, all they could claim was a 5-position Shadow Demon. By the way, what a nice play to keep Angel up and fighting, man.
Yeah, that was really nice, like right before the stun came out, and, well, I don't know. Luna's getting super large. So 17 minutes, I think she just had HOD Manta Treads.
Yep.
Now she has BKB, Aegis, and 1,500 gold in just 6 minutes.
Yep. And
Oh,
wow, that was
okay.
brave. That's a 10-second charge gone. Not sure that wasn't absolutely necessary, but as it is, playing it safe, I reckon. 16-10, and the overall gold lead heading heavily in favor of Union Gaming, and this kind of feels like deja vu of their last game, man. It was kind of this way, except that game was a lot closer across the board. This has felt like it's been in control of Union for a while, but now suddenly Ewo's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and the idea of them taking a team fight in which he's present is becoming a very, very hopeful kind of a goal.
They don't have enough playmakers on their team.
Yeah.
Without Relic actually moving around to the side lanes, it's just too passive. We have Weaver just trying to farm up Lincolns, and without a Midas, they have Mid, Tiny trying to farm up, they have Sand King trying to farm up with Blink Dagger, and there's just too much farm that they want, not enough farm allocated, and just no one trying to get killed.
Well, that could change here. Blink Dagger, yep, they're going to pop the Stampede. Didn't need the Blink, just going to move in front. Abaddon's borrowed time procs, not that they care. Very nice vacuum wall, though. Now they're going to turn this around with Sand King trying to. Anyway, their damage is just so lacking. They turn around, get a kill with the double edge. Avalanche from the low ground, stunned him out. Jericho with a disruption to buy him some time. Bricks is going to be there, and oh, hello, Tiny Illusion. That's awesome. That is so cool. Check this
That's
out.
a dead Shadow Demon.
Yeah,
well,
you
actually,
think?
he has pipe on him. I still think he's dead.
Yeah, that is. Look at this on my monitor.
Yeah.
Very cool. On the tiny toss, the old heave-ho. Puck. As soon as he reconnects, we'll be bringing you the action once again. I am your host, AC, and joining me as always, at least for today, has been Merlini. It's our 4th game together, and this will be closing things out for our studio broadcast of today. He and I will be grabbing something to eat and kicking it around back. It's really nice out, by the way, really warm. It's freezing in here. But, yeah. You can find us both on Twitter. I'm at AC, at AYESEE. He's at Merlini Dota, MERLINIDOTA. And you'll see us down on the lounge stream. Lounge stream's kind of fun, but we'll be bouncing in and out a little bit. Looking ahead to tomorrow, we'll be back in action. I'll be on the main studio stream with Fear in the afternoon tomorrow, early on, or earlier in the day, I should say. I'll be in back upstairs here, and I'll actually be casting with Gods. Looking forward to that. I haven't casted with him before. And then, of course, looking ahead to the final day. Well, we'll leave that as a surprise, how that schedule's going to end up working.
By the way, there are 3 other games going on right now. There are Sneaky
Yes.
Nyx Assassins versus Team Liquid on the main Beyond the Summit stream. Top 5 versus Shadows of the Past.
Hold that thought. Game on.
Oh, buddy.
Jericho. Oh, Moonlight Shadow trying to make a run for it. He does manage to make it away. Behind that, we can see the battle raging as now Relic's engaged onto Ewo. Ewo going to be tossed. Has the Aegis popped. He didn't have much time left on it to begin with. Now Relic could be in trouble. Blink. 5 seconds in. He's going to turn and throw the Avalanche uphill. That buys enough time for he and Bricks to scurry
They do
back
have a
up the
blink
stairs.
stun. Maybe Relic can come with a really clutch toss.
Oh, close. And now they're going to... Yep, nice. Very good with the stomp. Securing a triple kill for himself. And it seems like Ban Earth, they're not playing terrible. They're not getting completely run over. It just seems like the longer the fights go, the tighter the teamwork of Union Gaming tends to shine. Like, their decision-making just seems to be on a better, different level.
Ban Earth has I think their mentality is wrong this game. They're just trying to outgreed the opponent, but their lineup isn't about greed. Like, you don't think of Tiny as an AFK farmer for 50 minutes. Although he can do that role, that's not his strength. Same with Weaver. Although he can AFK farm for 50 minutes, that's not really what they should be going for. There are much better heroes for that, like Spectre or Naga. I say they could have done both if they really wanted to, and that's one way to deal with a Luna. But the way they're playing it is like they're trying to outgreed a Luna, and they're losing the team fights as well as farming much slower. If you look at Luna's net worth right now, it's 16,189, and both of the other carries are around that 8,000 gold mark. Actually, Weaver's around 10,000, but still, Luna is just a couple thousand behind both of them combined.
Yeah. It was hell, dude. She's getting to the point now she's going to have a Satanic up if she wants it. She's already got enough for the Reaver, and only needs about another 900 gold on top of that to
Relic in
finish
mid gets caught up by Angel, but he gets craggied.
Oh, the Craggy. Brutal. We actually see the arrow was on mark, but stuff got in the way. And connected on a creep, so no follow-up there. You know, that's something I've been meaning to ask you. How does Craggy work in regards to illusions?
Craggy used to work on illusions, but not anymore.
Okay, I was just curious. Something worth mentioning with the Luna on the other side. But we're going to have a stampede.
On her illusion, they stunned her.
Yep. And Coil's there. They're going to try to follow this up. Sand King makes it to the high ground. Angel eating a lot of damage on the back of this, though. He's going to be forced to withdraw. However, they do manage to track down the Darkseer. And now the phase shift to get Citadel away. And looks like they're going to be able to stabilize a little bit. They traded 1 for 1 there, and that's really the best result Banner's had in a long time in terms of a bigger engagement.
Not only that, they got the gem.
Yeah.
We saw them Mirana carrying a gem. She tried to leap in. Well, she did leap in. She finished at the Darkseer, but paid with her own life. So with that momentum swing, I mean, gem's a pretty big deal, especially considering that Union Gaming is actually decide with the Moonlight Shadow, and they won't be able to see Weaver and
look at
Sinking
this
so
stack,
easily
though,
now.
man. Once again, Ewo taking a huge Ancient stack. That was at least a 4 stack when he went to work on it.
Yeah, he's good at farming.
Yeah. Knows how to hit creeps and build stuff, man. He's all right at Minecraft.
I think he gets Butterfly. They get next Roshan, and they could... I don't know. The problem is I don't really think they can push high ground versus Ban Earth. Ban Earth might not have the best middle late game, but they do have really good high ground defense with Sand King and Darkseer. And on top of that, if you vacuum them into a tiny combo with him cleaving you, that is going to probably be a team one. Butterfly and Aegis notwithstanding.
You know, that's the one big thing we haven't seen out of No Earth is the fact that, you know, they have all these team fight combination sequences that we've talked about. You know, the vacuum in the epicenter, you know, the cleave damage from Tiny's an absolutely excellent example. You know, if you can put all those together, you're going to be able to five-man wipe them so easily.
Yeah.
But we haven't even seen them do it
They're
at
choosing
all.
not to win with finesse. They're choosing to win with brute force and just pure out farm.
Yep.
So, which is, I mean, it's a way to win, but at the same time, they could be doing so much more with their lineup. It's a little disappointing to see that they aren't.
I want to bring it back around to the point you made about Tiny. Can he AFK farm and be a 45, 50-minute carry? Sure. But that's one very small dimension of a hero that's amazing.
He's been involved in 1 kill
exactly.
in 30 minutes.
One. And that, oh, wow, is that true?
Yes.
Holy crap,
4-0.
But that's the thing. If they wanted to play this kind of style, they wanted to go pure greed, why not draft for it? Hold that thought as we see half-fried egg roll. Going to be caught. And the arrow. In conjunction with everything else, the arrow got the kill. Damn it. Always want to try to get those right. Unfortunately, it was Puck that finished him off, probably with an auto attack or something along those lines. 21-11. And
compared to Tiny to the Luna.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Luna, 7-2-9, so been involved in 16 kills. Had an Aegis.
16 of
ancient
21.
Stacks a ton.
Yep.
Yeah, 16 of 21. And her farm is massive. It's out of control.
Well, she's been getting a whole lot of support,
Roshan's about to
too.
respawn. Are they going to check it? Ooh. Oh, I think it's going to respawn like the next 5 seconds. 10 seconds. There we go.
Did it just come up?
The timer just came up on the right side.
There we go. Going to work now on the tier 2. Let's see if they want to collapse. But let's see. Are we going to have a fight? They are going to hang around here. That's chancy. Like, you come in against a Mirana, you have to be so careful about, like, how committed you are to these, because you have no idea how many people are collapsing. And there's a stun that catches Goody mid Burrow Strike. Relic tried to help out with an Avalanche, then TP's away. They are going to get the gem back. So Goody had the gem, and it's on the ground. Did they see it? No one's picked it up.
Apparently not.
It's right there, man. It's sitting right on the right south of the tree, so that's unfortunate. That's a pretty big pickup if they can find it.
Yeah. There are just so much better heroes if they want to do like a split push. Like Morphling would have been really good.
Exactly.
Morphling, Naga. These heroes like all come to mind as to, wow, Banner Earth, they're playing really well. If they had these heroes. But
Right.
it's just they don't really have good disengage either. Like Weaver is decent, but Tiny doesn't really have a good disengage if he is going to push towers and try and split push. If he gets a Manta, he can just send his illusions in, but he doesn't.
Book 3 on Citadel. Haven't even talked about that at all. This must have been talking about
He's been quiet.
Yeah, he really has. But I mean, he's 4-1-9. There's not a whole lot more you can ask out of him. And he's in great shape. This is going to be a free Roshan. No chance for it to even be challenged. Bricks with Deso Lincolns. We saw him just a minute ago line up against the Luna, just trying to harass her. And she's just so far ahead, she doesn't care. Now with the butterfly done, like, how are they going to kill her? Not once, but twice.
Well, one thing that Banner does have going for them is that Luna might get 6-sack too soon. And this actually happens more often than you may think. And yeah, she can replace her BKB, but Satanic plus like Scotty, let's say, and then after that, if you don't end the game soon, you're going to be in for a rough time because Tiny and Weaver will eventually, slowly but surely, catch up. Weaver only really at 2 slots right now because I think he's one of the best heroes without boots, and Tiny with only pretty much BKB and Ags and drums, or sorry, and Treads still has a long ways to go. So looks like they have the high ground defense. Can they hold with Darkseer and Sand King though?
There we go. Here comes the Stampede looking for a target. TP's coming in. Ewo is there with his illusions. Looks like they're able to chase him off of the tower, at least for the moment. They have all their ultis available. There we go. There's going to be an epicenter, but only caught one. They do manage to bring Puck down, but that prompted the BKB, and now here comes the pain. Borrowed time keeps Knave up, but Relic's in trouble. Relic cannot stand up to the right click. Is just being picked apart, and Ewo just going to continue to chase him down. We'll finish him with a Lucent Beam. Yep, there it is. And he actually eats a lot of damage from behind by Bricks, but still just not enough. Goody comes back out, lands a Burrow Strike. Stampede, oh no, excuse me, Stomp there to catch 3 after the defensive disruption, kept Ewo alive. Wall helping to secure him. Can they track him down? There's the Aegis. But Aegis a small part of that battle. He's back up now, full health, full mana, ready to rock. And they should be able to go ahead and take the racks off of this. They're just not going to have a whole lot of follow-up damage. Weaver, even though he is hitting hard-ish, is not hitting hard enough to really be scary enough to force them back off of these racks.
Look at Bricks just melt.
Yep.
Oh my goodness, he had a time-lapse of Glaives. Ewo is just destroying everybody. He has 300 damage.
Yep, he is just waylaying everything, buildings, heroes, and everything else in the way. And they're going to be, they don't have to vacate the base. They really
at least not until Tiny's up.
Yep. Well, even then, like, I don't know, like.
Tiny just seemed like such a useless pick this game. I
He's
don't know.
got 4,700 gold. Like, on top of everything else, he's got 4,700 gold. He finished his, I didn't see if he finished his Satanic. If not, it's certainly done now. And, yeah.
That's an easy 2 racks.
Yeah. And at this point, I mean, what do? You're up against a Luna. They can seriously just push it down your throat in that top lane. Now they're going to re-engage on the Bricks. Bricks will be hit with the arrow to follow it up. Doesn't look like they're confident enough to try to re-engage uphill, though. And Luna, eyeballing the big man, gives him an old toss-a-roo. And looks like they're not done, man. And I don't know why you would. Why back out and give him room at all? Try to force this fight. Stampede going to be used. Relic's going to be the target. They're looking for him. BKB's used. Behind that, there was a very nice stun. But Ewo is right there on top of him. 3-man coil. That could just about be that. Relic popped his own BKB. Citadel's eating a lot of damage, as is Ewo, but he's dealing it faster than he's eating it. Relic's going to be brought down with one more auto attack. Glaive Bounce brings the big boulder down.
Dang, Ewo carry too strong.
Dude, that's the 2nd game in a row he's done this. Like, no joke. 2nd game in a row. Finishes up with just shy of 26,000 overall net worth. 30-12 in a 34-minute game.
I think Van Earth could have definitely taken advantage of the Luna, though.
Union Gaming's 3-0, man. Like, they have gotten off to a great start. Who have they played?
One was an FF win.
Oh, yeah.
It was a def win.
Hey, win's a win,
But
man.
CMB and Van Earth are kind of your middle-of-the-pack teams, so that's the first step to getting to the playoffs.
Exactly. I'm going to go ahead and update and see. It doesn't look like anything else has been updated, so. But, yeah, I mean, and, you know, it's like we were talking about during the intro segment. This is where you.
Camera.
Yeah, may as well. This is where you get so much of your work done. You know, it's for these teams, yes, you want to upset your team Liquid, your NAR if you can. But if you just run the field on all the teams that are kind of on even par with you, that'll put you into the playoffs, and then you look for your upsets. And this is just such a great tune-up period, and Union Gaming seems to be humming, man.
Do they have other tricks, though, up their sleeve besides Luna?
Exactly.
If they only won 2 they pretty much won 2 games even though they're 3-0, and if it's off the back of the farm Luna, I think that heavy aggression can actually beat them out. And
right.
The thing is, Ban Earth wasn't even that good at playing passive farm games. They're not good at playing keep away. The Abaddon wasn't there to save Tiny from pretty much anything.
Right.
Tiny was only involved in 2 kills the whole entire game, and Tiny is probably one of the more aggressive mids that you'll see.
Yeah, he should have been. I mean, he had plenty of supporting cast to help him out early on. The roam potential was definitely there. But I think what it comes down to is what we talked about all game. you just kind of you boxed yourself into a corner. You drafted one way when you wanted to play another, and you just did neither very well. So, don't know, man.
I think they could have killed Luna before BKB. I think
easily.
that was what they had to do. If once you got BKB, it's like, okay, well, now they can't do anything. Did you see how badly the Tiny got whomped while he had BKB on?
Yeah.
It was
Glaives. It was just Glaives that were killing him. Like, he died that last death when he was running for the well. That was like a 3-bounce Glaive that bounced off the Ancient and killed him. Like, that's how much damage he was taking from the Luna alone. So, fantastic play, man. And before we head out, this is our last time appearing today, not just together, but anywhere on a mainstream. How about you plug yourself, brother? Where can they find you and all your awesome content?
Well, we are on the Beyond the Summit stream, so at Beyond the Summit, I am Merlini Dota, and you yourself?
AC, man, AYESEE. That's at AYESEE. Make sure you check him out, especially all you guys that are tuning in. Maybe this is your first big event you've ever watched. Amazing content to help you learn and think like a pro. His name's Merlini Dota. You want to be keeping up.
And we have a few other streams up. Don't
Yes,
forget.
absolutely. This is the North American Hub, bringing you TI4 qualifier coverage presented by Monster Energy. Lots of other games still going on today.
I don't. It only says one live game is on. It looks like CMB Isra is probably still playing.
Yep, something like that.
And then all the other games I think are donezo.
Cool. Well, we'll be down at the lounge stream. I think we're both going to take a break for a minute, but you can catch us there. But make sure you tune into all the action and all of the coverage here at the North American Hub. Once again, I'm AC. That's Merlini. We'll catch you guys a little bit later, and don't forget the action kicks off early again tomorrow, and we'll be back on the mainstreams then. Till then, take it easy. See you soon.